one of the great mysteries of the 2021 preseason was solved yesterday when, drum roll please, do your drum roll. Do your drum. You haven't done it in a while. Your drum roll. It's not a... The Jaguars have announced their starting quarterback for the 2021 season. And after much debate and discussion and a competition that went right down to the wire, Trevor Lawrence, congratulations, emerges as the... What a shocker that they're going with the rookie number 1 overall pick in Jacksonville. He beats out Gardner Minshew, who finally can release his bowels. And that's a comment that he made to Chris Long back in July. Minshew will be number 2 after all, and Lawrence will be number 1, Chris.
Yeah, well, I mean, come on, we know. I mean, listen, I don't care how it looked the other night, like we talked about. It wasn't perfect. It wasn't Trevor Lawrence's fault. Yeah, okay, there's not a great throw, but that first throw he threw on the run to the left, that was damn special. Yeah, he's, not great protection. But the one thing, Trevor Lawrence has incredible talent. I know that, just by looking at what he did. I mean, things like this. Man, this big sucker moving in the pocket like that, some of the times when he escaped the pocket and ran and did things like that, this is a special skill set. And, of course, him throwing the ball, yeah, it's not the best decision and throw here. But regardless, I mean, come on, he's on another level compared to Gardner Minshew. Another level. And, this is where I think Urban Meyer, he realizes all the things we just talked about with Joe Burrow. I think that's why, again, we were in these conversations about maybe they were hesitant and thinking about, man, is the team good enough? Are we going to screw up Trevor Lawrence early in the year? I don't know if they were letting this drag on just to kind of keep a poker on his butt. They're like, hey, keep learning, keep pushing. You haven't won the job yet. I don't know what they were doing exactly down there. But he's certainly shown that he is a top-flight talent. I don't care what the stats are or anything. It's the look, the preseason. Jacksonville stinks. But I can't imagine, especially Urban Meyer and the fact that we brought up, he's talked to Joe Burrow in the offseason. Joe Burrow was on his team at Ohio State before he transferred to LSU. That's got to be in his mind. And also, I just think Urban Meyer's too smart to do that to his quarterback, to do what the Bengals did, where he's just going to go, oh, man, we're losing, and I'm going to let Trevor Lawrence throw it 45 times, and we're going to try to win this game and do everything we can and just hang Trevor Lawrence out there and dangle him for danger and all those type of things. I don't think he'll do that. I don't. I think Urban Meyer's too smart. He realizes the big picture and how important Trevor Lawrence is to the next 2, 3, 4, 8 years for the Jacksonville Jaguars. So I'm glad they just got it over with, and obviously they feel like he's ready to go.
Well, but you raise a great point. Will the Jaguars cause themselves to become deluded to think that they can actually win games? And they have the Texans right out of the gates, and they do have a fairly easy schedule relative to what's coming down the line. And if they could build some momentum and win some games, it would be very easy for Urban Meyer to talk himself into going all in with a Trevor Lawrence offense, where the offense runs through Trevor Lawrence. Sure. It doesn't seem like that's what they want to do, is they scramble to find offensive identity, and now they don't have Travis Etienne for the season, another first-round pick from Clemson that suffered a foot sprain on Monday night and is done for the year. They've got James Robinson, who was undrafted last year and had 1,000 yards rushing, and They just need to rely on running the ball, trying to beef up the defense, and don't expect your quarterback to do too much. Otherwise, you put him in harm's way, and you don't have him for next year, and that's when Urban Meyer eventually and inevitably says, what in the hell did I get myself into? And, that one look that we show of him on the sideline, and who knows what he was thinking or what he was trying to project, but there is a little of, what in the hell did I get myself into coming through on that one shot that we showed earlier that we've seen a couple of times this week. And we've all been there at some time. What in the hell did I get myself into?
I'm sure he's had some mornings where he's woke up and go, damn, I should have stayed at Ohio State. Life was a little easier then. I mean, I had that machine rolling. He's going to be frustrated. He's used to dominating. Urban Meyer is one of the greatest coaches in college football history for a number of reasons. This is a different ballgame. There's no doubt about it. But I still think he realizes the base values of football. And I think he understands how to protect his assets and do those things. And I think, to what you're saying, Mike, they got some young offensive linemen who certainly are not great, but they need to work them to get better. They drafted a few, so hopefully they can kind of come together. But they're going to run the ball, probably more than people will like at times. You're going to go, damn, would they drop back? But it's going to be more about the big picture. They'll pick the right games when they feel like, hey, wait, we're playing this team. They don't have a great pass rush. Oh, wait, it's late in the first quarter. We're protecting well today. Hey, maybe we can open it up a little bit and do those type of things. But Darrell Bevell, he does have a quick, short passing game, certainly. Too much of that, in my opinion. And then you got Brian Schottenheimer, who the one thing I've always liked about Schotty is his run game design and stuff, too. So I hope they can help out Trevor Lawrence there, and I would be shocked if they fall in the trap. And I think like I said, I don't want them to Joe Burrow Trevor Lawrence. That's something I'll definitely we'll both have our eye on that throughout the year.
It is funny, though, and maybe this is just me, but over the past 15 years or so, I've gotten to the point where when I think of Darrell Bevell and Brian Schottenheimer, I think of offenses that are just mediocre enough to keep you employed for a few years before you're fired, and now they're together in Jacksonville.
Yeah, well,
the two kings of mediocre offense of the last 15 years.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to say I'm not going to argue too much there. I mean, I've never been blown away by either one of their offenses. So yeah, we're going to see how this goes. I don't know if Urban Meyer is going to add some of his influence of years and things that he did at the different schools and things like that. But yes, I'm with you. I mean, I when I first saw that, I wasn't like, oh, wow, man, Trevor Lawrence is really going to light it up with that crew. No, they got to prove something to me, too. I mean, there's no doubt about it. We'll be evaluating them and how they call the games and what they do to help Trevor Lawrence and the Jacksonville Jaguars out. But I think there's enough adults in the room there in Jacksonville, and in the fact that they're not on the hot seat and everybody knows it's a total rebuild, that they will be smart with Trevor Lawrence and realize like the right way to play him, play the game on the offensive side of the ball, play through the defense a little bit. And as frustrated as he'll get, he'll realize the big picture. I mean that in Urban Meyer.
We know the special teams coordinator is an adult in the room because he refused to put Tim Tebow on the field a single time in the preseason opener in any special teams unit. And secondly, I got to take issue with one thing you said when we showed the picture of Urban Meyer and the what in the hell did I get myself into look. It's not I should have stayed at Ohio State. I should have stayed at Fox. I should have stayed in the capacity where you don't have wins and losses, where you're only judged if you open your mouth and you emit, a babbling like Steve Carell and Bruce Almighty. So you can't go wrong in TV in comparison to the pressure and the stress of being a coach.
He can't help it, Mike. Now, he can't help it. He's a drug addict. He's a drug addict. And I mean that in a nice way.
I mean that in the nicest way possible.
He's addicted.
You're a drug addict, and that's a compliment.
Yeah. Well, sometimes you're a little cooler if you are. His drug is football and coaching and competing. He loves that to the point where he gets drugged out and he's like, damn, I need to detox for 3 years. I mean, that's what he's done a few times. But we talk about Urban Meyer, and I know we hit it the other day. He'll learn to control his facial expressions and emotions on the sidelines too, I think, with everybody hearing the talk of everybody this week, and realizes he can't shake his head and overreact to every little bad thing that happens to the football team.
I don't know enough about the drug culture to know the name of the cheapest drug that has the most negative side effects the next morning, but that's the equivalent of the job that he took based upon the quality of the roster and where things stand. Now, Gardner Minshew, not the starting quarterback, shockingly, in Jacksonville. Was this an effort to showcase him? Will they try to unload him? He's got a salary of $850,000, but if he's not content to be in a supporting role and help Trevor Lawrence develop, and if he's constantly thinking that this competition is still going on and screw Trevor Lawrence, I'm not trying to help him, I'm trying to get on the field, what do? Do you trade him? Do you keep him?
Well, I think that you dangle him out there for teams that might be looking for a backup to go, hey, he's available. The one thing that jumped out to me, through all their games, of course that was on my mind, but they gave a lot of throws to C.J. Beathard and company too, to where I started to go, man, are they kind of grooming him and hoping he can be, the backup and do something for the football team that way? So that has crossed my mind. And, I mean, I don't know if it's the Dallas Cowboys or some other teams that we're not thinking about right now that truly need a backup, to where if they made an offer to Jacksonville, I would think they're going to seriously look at that. Jake Luton, their other quarterback there, he got to play a little last year. Urban Meyer should know all about C.J. Beathard. He was at Iowa, so he was there, at Ohio State when he was. And, of course, Beathard's been in the Shanahan system, so he knows offense and how to run things, and he played a little bit in those type of things too. So, and I also know, Gardner Minshew, he's no dummy. He's looking at it going, Trevor Lawrence is better than me, so I'm not going to be playing here anytime soon. Maybe I do need to get out of here and try to find another spot or something like that. But I would think if they got the offer they like, that he might be out the door.
I think they're stunned that no one has approached them about it. I think one of the factors in this phony quarterback competition was to just try to prop him up a little bit and maybe get a team that is looking for a capable backup say, maybe this is the guy we need. Even in Seattle, Geno Smith, Gardner Minshew, it's a no-brainer. And I know that you never need to use the backup to Russell Wilson because he never comes off the field, but there may be a point where he has no say in the matter and he can't play, and you need to have somebody that you feel better about, or it all goes down the tubes. And I really do think that's the analysis for a lot of these teams.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.